It's the National Football League on EA Sports.
And playing a big role on defense is Jordan Hicks, who had a strong showing last week with an 8-tackle game.
It's the Vikings and the Bears, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
Bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
First play and a first pass for Cousins. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. Trying to find Jordan Addison that time. And it's second down. You look at this Bears defense. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Well, this defense for the Bears, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect?
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The sack there by Rasheem Green. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball in the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
So here come the Bears to take over on offense behind their third-year quarterback, former Ohio State Buckeye Charles Justin Fields.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They run with a former Panther. It's Deontay Foreman. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Now a toss play. This is Foreman. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Foreman will try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. The Bears entering play looking for win number 4 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They run it on first with Foreman. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. You look at this defense for the Vikings. They've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem, when they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Foreman powering ahead. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Foreman's going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still...
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bears take over. Deontay Foreman and his offense back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think he should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
The numbers on the ground for Foreman in last week's contest. 15 carries, 106 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Here we go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Fields on third down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Cousins now. Over the middle, complete to Addison. 15 more yards there and quickly another first down.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Fournette once more on 2nd down. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears' 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away.
Here we go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. Pushes past him. There he goes, right side. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. On the option right is Fields. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Back to Foreman on first. Down to about the 32.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, here's Foreman. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Here we go, son.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Foreman. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. The Bears on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Fields now to throw. That's complete to Mooney. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Foreman is into the end zone for a Bears touchdown. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
No, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was finished off by Deontay Foreman on the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he returns this to the 22. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And here's Ryan Wright now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Deontay Foreman and his offense back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Stop made there by Brian Asamoah. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get it.
Taking it right down Broadway. Now he's loose at the 40, inside the 20, and all the way down to the 5. 156 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. He went over 100 yards a week ago, and with that run, he does it again.
He's an absolute horse, a guy that eats carries. And what I mean by that, the more you hand it to him, the more the production you're going to get. A big-time performer.
Slot man moves right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
They'll go with Foreman, and he is unable to get in. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. They were stopped last time from the 1. Now here's another try on 3rd and goal. They'll try again, but he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
On 4th down, Fields. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
Cousins on 1st down. His throw incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Cousins. Looking left side him, he's got a man. That's Osborne. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. A big play there for Minnesota, 49 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Cousins. It's knocked out. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Cousins again. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's Ryan Wright now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Deontay Foreman and his offense back out there. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big, because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
On first down, it's Fields. That'll be caught by Foreman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
That's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
On the handoff, here's Foreman. And unable to get downhill there, as he'll take this up to about the 37. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the 2nd quarter. Marvin Jones, a touchdown reception. From there, we head a little further north up to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And you can see currently they trail in that ball game. Terry McLaurin, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. Jamar Chase, a touchdown reception.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Fields going to keep it running right. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
To throw is Cousins. Open man is Osborne. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
First down. Here's Cousins. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now he dumps this off over the middle. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
So many times we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
170 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 2.
They run again with Foreman. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
First down at about the 38. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a give to Foreman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Foreman's going to get it again on 2nd down. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and they will take over 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. From the 21, here's 2nd down and 8. Now Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Amazing how Jefferson makes 1st downs like that look routine, isn't it? He's off to the greatest start by a receiver in NFL history. Set records for most catches and yards in a player's first 3 seasons and led the league in both last year.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. Pass complete to Addison. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. So nothing doing there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and they will not cut into that 10-point lead. Thought that might be the goose egg breaker. Still stuck on 0.
Yeah, this is still a tight game, too. We got to keep that in mind because that miss there, you hang your head, you let it affect you the next time you go out there, then you really hurt your ball club. Get yourself together. You might get another opportunity, and they're going to count on you to put it through the posts.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the 50, here's Fields. And that is incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we were talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw taken in by Hockenson here. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Throwing is Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And Jefferson's going to have the Vikings 1st down as he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. They'll find Osborne here. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 44-yard line. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The former third-round pick, Justin Jones, bringing the lumber that time.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now Cousins. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Yannick Ngakoue drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Boy, 196 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll run with Foreman and tackle down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll run with Herbert. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from? And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Deontay Foreman with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bears are closing in on a 4-1 start as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Now the point after try for Santos. He's got it, and it's 17-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was finished off by Deontay Foreman on the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw here's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins now. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passing we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the 2nd half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Here we go, son.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
On the toss, here's Foreman. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Deontay Foreman, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bears are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead is now 24. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
And out now come the Vikings.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Throw left side, and Osborne has it.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And Hockenson going to have the Vikings 1st down as the tackle made up near the 35.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Cousins throw pulled in by Jefferson.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a dump off here complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 5.
Cousins to throw it. And he'll just get rid of it.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing, Cousins. And now another one thrown incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Cousins on first down.
This one caught by Osborne, right side.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
To the air again, it's Cousins.
Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. Now Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter.
So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Cousins will try and throw. He's got it. So they convert to 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. Well, the Vikings are pointing. They've got it. Minnesota football. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2-2-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
But if you do it one bite at a time. That's the way they've got to play this, one play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye. One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up.
The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. This is 1st and 10.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Just a difficult situation to be in here in the final minute. Down 2 scores, you know you need some providence from somewhere. They're going to keep firing away till the end, but this one falls incomplete.
Cousins again.
He has his target. It's Addison.
One last shot now for Cousins. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
One final shot. They'll look to throw.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off, and the Bears come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done.